Cohen was indicted for tax evasion, among other things, and he went to prison. When the topic of Michael Cohen comes up, the one thing everyone who knows Michael Cohen can agree on, the one thing is that he's a sleazeball, not a minor sleazeball, but an epic sleazeball, a Hollywood-level sleazeball. If they ever make Sleazeball the movie, Michael Cohen will play the lead, and he'll be in every sequel, too. He'll have to be. He was born for that role. So it's interesting to note that among Michael Cohen's close personal friends is an anchor on the cable news network, and not just any CNN anchor, but the CNN anchor given to the most overheated possible moral lectures, the first guy on that channel to invoke God himself and the Blessed Mother if necessary, as he scolds you for not living up to his high ethical standards. That man's name is Christopher Charles Cuomo, son of one governor, brother of another, Yale graduate, weightlifter, deeply good person. And also, we now learn, a buddy of Michael Cohen's. We know this because we have an audio tape of a conversation between the two men. Apparently, there are many tapes like this. But tonight, we're going to play you just a portion of one. Before you listen to this, try to remember what Chris Cuomo sounds like when you watch him on television. You've seen him, admit it. Then compare that version, that memory, the official morally inflated Chris Cuomo, to the guy you hear in this recording. Here you go.
You know, I'm always careful when I talk to media, you know?
Right.
Do you know how many phone calls I've gotten from people at ABC who say that reporters are calling and lying about things they heard about me to try to get stories about me when I was at ABC? Guys calling and saying, I heard he was the Charlie Rose of ABC, he used to invite women to the hotel and open his bathroom. Do I look like the kind of guy who's got to do that?
Sure, why not? But you're
lying. So I already have a good source that says that he forced one woman to have sex. I just want to know if you've ever heard anything like that. There is no woman.
Right.
There is none of that.
So here's the problem.
Women who do work there saying, oh, yeah, you know, some of these men, and naming me with other guys, you know, we bumped into each other once in the elevator, and he put his hand on my shoulder, and he made me really uncomfortable. I mean, what the
It's a problem, and now you.
So I'm careful with the media always.
Right.
I've always told you, the media is not your friend.
No.
Whoa, well, there's a lot to unpack here, but the first thing you notice is that Chris Cuomo was agitated. He's mad, really mad. And you know what makes him maddest of all? The suggestion that he's got to act like some old guy, Charlie Rose, to get the ladies, sandbagging women in hotel rooms with an open bathrobe. Do I look like the kind of effing guy who's got to do that? He asked his pal Michael Cohen. Cohen's response? Sure, why not? Open bathrobes seem normal to Michael Cohen. But Chris Cuomo disagrees. Chris Cuomo doesn't need cheesy tricks like that. Chris Cuomo is on television. Chris Cuomo could bench press your Subaru. Open bathrobes are for losers. Chris Cuomo is not a loser. But you know who is a loser? Big time? All those women who keep accusing Chris Cuomo of sexual harassment. They claim he bothered them in elevators. Now, if women made those claims against you, Chris Cuomo might very well denounce you on his TV show, call for your firing, call for your banishment from decent society. These are women making the charges, after all. You must believe women. Women's voices must be heard. Me too, and all that. But that is not what Chris Cuomo tells his friend Michael Cohen, not even close. You get the sense as you listen that neither one of these guys is a big feminist. When Chris and Michael get together, they can let their hair down and be themselves. So Chris spares Michael the Me Too lecture. He doesn't say anything about women's voices, nothing flattering anyway. Instead, he says, and we're quoting here, I mean, what the F? In other words, these girls, they're crazy. All of them want a piece of Chris Cuomo. Maybe some of them want to get bench pressed, if you know what I mean. So they're making up these crazy lies, you know, like women do. Hormones, probably. But Michael Cohen is not convinced by this explanation. Even Michael Cohen takes women more seriously than that. Well, it's a problem, Cohen begins to say, but Chris Cuomo cuts him off. When you're talking to Chris Cuomo, you don't actually get to talk much. So unfortunately, we never learn who are all these women who claim they've been sexually harassed by Chris Cuomo. What are their names? Have they received financial settlements from CNN or ABC? Well, we asked those questions yesterday to CNN. We sent them the tape you just heard. We sent it to someone at the PR department called Matt Dornick, as well as to that weird kid who hosts the media show. They didn't respond. Was their reaction the same as Chris Cuomo's? I mean, what the F? We could only guess. Maybe they think women are crazy too. Chris Cuomo hasn't called us either, and you can see why. We work in the media. And if there's one thing that Chris Cuomo hates, it's the media. Though obviously he defends the media night after night on his show, but he doesn't mean it, not at all. as he told his old pal Michael Cohen more than once, "I've always told you, the media is not your friend." Actually, we're starting to like Chris Cuomo.